Welcome back to Mastering Social Media Management, and we are talking about contracts today. If you don't know what contracts are or what they mean to you as a social media manager, you need to keep on watching. Hi guys, my name is Balaji. I am the social media ogre, and I'm someone who is mentoring the next generation of social media managers. And I'm all about teaching anyone who cares to listen how to use social media the right way. A contract is a legally binding agreement between two or more parties that outlines the terms and conditions of their relationship and obligations that they must fulfill. You need a contract as a social media manager because it not only protects you, but it also protects your client. And contracts can be written or verbal. But as a social media manager, written contracts are more preferred because they provide the clear obligations, clear documentations of the agreement. Why do social media managers need contracts? Number one, it helps you to set clear expectations. Your contracts clearly define the services that you're providing to your clients as a social media manager, such as content creation, social media management, advertising campaign, etc. And this helps to prevent misunderstanding between you and the client, makes everybody happy and makes everybody clear on what is expected of them. Also, contracts helps you to list the specific deliverables like the number of posts per week, the types of content you're creating for the client, so that nobody misunderstands or is asking you to go above and beyond what is written in that contract. This ensures that both parties knows what to expect. A lot of social media managers have unhappy clients or unhappy relationship with their clients because there is no contract that outlines these specific things and sets clear expectations. Having a contract will save you from all that nonsense. The second reason why you need a social media management contract is for legal protection. In case of disagreement, which most times will happen because human beings have flaws, a contract serves as a reference point to always resolve disputes. It specifies the steps to be taken in such situations, including mediation, arbitration, or even legal action. A contract talks about the responsibilities of each party that protects both the social media manager and the client from potential liabilities. Liabilities is when you have a whole lot of losses. I'm sure if you did economics, you know what liabilities are. In case you don't understand what liabilities are, when you lose money, liabilities are things that make you lose money. Basically, you don't want to have liabilities as a new social media manager. The third reason why you need a contract is for professionalism and credibility. When you have a contract, when you present a contract to your client look at you like, oh my God, this person is quite professional. I'm kidding. But having a contract in place demonstrates professionalism and establishes your stand as a social media manager and your credibility. It also shows that you take your work seriously and you're committed to delivering the agreed services. Clients are likely to trust and respect social media managers that give them contracts because they know that you are trying to protect their interests. Nobody cares about you. Everybody just wants to protect their own interests. So if you give your clients a contract, they say that, okay, yes, you're not just protecting yourself, but you're also protecting. The fourth reason why you need a contract is for financial security. If you're tired of losing money, make sure you create a contract. Now, a contract includes your payment terms such as fees, your payment schedules, the penalties for late payment. There should be penalties for late payment. If your client is late when it comes to your payment, you should state it in your contract that if they don't pay at so and so time, this is how much you're going to add for late payments. And this ensures that the social media manager gets paid on time because who wants to pay extra money for paying late? Nobody. Now, contracts can also specify the upfront deposit or retainers, and this helps you provide financial security and ensures that your client is committed to you. See reasons why you need a contract. I know some of you are like, oh, but like, you just show us the contract already. Calm down, I will. Number 5 reason why you need a contract is the protection of your own intellectual property. A contract will always clarify who owns the content that is created during the engagement between you and your client. And this is very crucial for protecting the intellectual property of both the social media manager and the client. You know, in the portfolio video, I talked about some social media managers signing NDAs. And NDA is also a non-disclosure agreement that is also like a contract that says, oh, you cannot use content from the client or content you've created from client on your in your portfolio. So if your client says, oh, this is the kind of contract I want, or I don't want you to use my content in your portfolio, it protects their own interest, because there are some brands that are very specific about people not seeing what goes on in the back end of their business, and their social media is also part of their business. It helps protect their intellectual property. Number 6 is confidentiality. Now, contracts often include NDAs to protect sensitive information shared during the engagement, and this is essential for managing and maintaining the credibility and confidentiality and safeguarding information. Basically, you don't want to be exposing what your client doesn't want out there. Don't be stubborn. If your client says, I don't want you to put me in your portfolio, let them know that, okay, you're going to be paying extra because I can't put you in my portfolio or something like that. You get, just come to an agreement for it. And the final reason why you need a contract is for flexibility and amendment. Now, a contract helps you know that, okay, wait, we can be flexible, because a contract just provides you like a structured process for making changes or amendments, ensuring that any modifications are documented and agreed on. But please, after you've documented and agreed on these changes, make sure that they sign this contract. All your contracts will be signed, because if your contracts are not signed, you guys are still chatting. Now, let's go into my laptop when I show you examples of contracts that you can use as a social media manager. This is an example of the social media marketing contracts that I created, and I'm going to be explaining what it entails. I created this in Canva, but once you grab the template, you can just copy the text and move it to your Word document. Now, your contract should start by introducing and identifying the two parties involved. You need to have like their names. You can put in their addresses if you want, the contact information of maybe the social media manager and the agency. This one I just kept by between client name and the agency name. And also you want to put in the date the contract is being entered. Then you want to go to the scope of work. You can see the one I just talked about that talked about maybe their name, addresses, and everything is located here. You can do that. When you grab the template, you can just make that correction, plug and play, like I said. The next thing is the scope of services. You want to write out the scope of services, the description of the services that you're going to be offering. What are you going to be delivering? Clearly define them. Clearly define them, because just in case that there are disputes, you want to make sure that you don't have any disputes with anybody. Also, the next one is the deliverables and deadlines, timelines that you're going to be, the contract duration, the end and the start date. You can put that there if you want to. The project timeline, what are the key dates? Like I can see, for example, I say weekly content calendar submission for client approval every Friday by 5 p.m. That's an example. The deliverables, minimum of 5 posts per week on Instagram and Facebook, minimum of 3 posts per week on Twitter and LinkedIn, monthly performance reports by 5th of each month. So you just put in clear timelines and deadlines so that everybody is staying accountable to one another. Also, your payment structure, you want to have a detailed breakdown of your fees, whether you're charging hourly rates, monthly retainer, for any other additional services, your payment schedule, the way you want to send invoices, and also your late fees. Like I said, late payment will incur a 5% late fee for every 7 days past the due date. It just protects you, because who wants to pay extra? Nobody, right? Next one is your contract duration and termination. Let them know when the contract starts and where is your possible end date, and how they can renew, what are the termination clauses and the early termination fees. Confidentiality and non-disclosure helps to protect the information and how you share information. Basically, like I said before, or I've said in previous videos, some clients don't want you to share what goes on in the back end of their business, like maybe the analytics in your portfolio. So confidentiality and non-disclosure actually protects those clients. Make sure you iron this out before you put it in your contract and before both of you actually sign it. Ownership and intellectual property. You need to talk about who owns the content. If you're the one that owns the content, that means you can let people know that, oh, I created this content for this client. If the client says they are the ones that own the content, let them know that, okay, this is how much you'll be paying extra because I'm supposed to be able to use this content as part of my portfolio. Responsibility and expect just lets everyone knows what your responsibilities are and what your client's responsibilities are. Indemnification and liability protects against any like potential legal claims that will result from the work. And the liabilities limits the amount of potential damages one party could claim against the other. We also have dispute resolution, and this is your method for always resolving disputes. The miscellaneous is like the force major, and this is like maybe clauses that cover scenarios where your performance is affected, like maybe you have stomach infection. Like me, I had stomach infection a few weeks ago. For example, natural disaster, there's a pandemic, you fell sick. This is the force major actually protects you. You can also make amendments and any changes, and make sure that any agreement must be made in writing and signed by both parties. If you make changes to this agreement, make sure you sign it by both parties, and also make sure every single person signs the document. That's the short form contract. Now, I created also a long form contract for every single person that wants access to it. It's more extensive, but basically explains way more. Like if you want like a standard contract to give to bigger clients or high ticket clients, it is more extensive. I'm going to link them also in the description below. If you want both contracts, make sure to check the description below. I'm going to separate them. If you want the long one or the short contract, make sure to also check the description below. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.